We're live.
This is Tracy.
And this is Sean.
Welcome to Shop Talk.
So,
yeah, we got off track yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had stuff all planned out. And
I had an
actually
idea.
I didn't, but I was starting to work on. I usually work on it at work on usually on Sunday night and Monday night.
Yeah.
I kind of work out, jot a few notes down, and I had started doing that. Then
the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I did the same pretty much thing.
I figured as soon as that happened, I figured that's probably going to be what we're going to have to talk about. Whatever is known about it, that's probably what we're going to have to talk about.
It's the first week of the month.
Yeah.
Okay. I get paid once a month, so I do my bills once a month.
Yeah.
So that was Sunday afternoon. Was tied up with that. Plus, here in Alabama,
that's also tax day.
October 1st. And I got my tax bills.
Yeah.
Business taxes and property taxes.
And your property tax. I just
auto registrations are due. But, so it's like, okay, that was all Sunday and early Monday morning writing out checks to take to the courthouse. And then I looked at the internet. And because I had planned Monday to go, I had something I was going to do. I was going to go through and figure out how I was going to do it. And I just, decided I'm going to go watch TV and become comfortably numb to some dumbass sitcoms, basically. Or actually, I ended up.
So you watched the news then?
Actually, I ended up watching an old Western or two.
Yeah.
Which actually they're enjoyable. It's been a while since I've sat down and enjoyed one of those. But so now the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Deeply saddened for the city, the state, and for all those who lost someone or had someone injured.
Yeah.
It was a senseless, needless tragedy that could not have been prevented in any way, shape, or form.
No, because if it hadn't happened like that, it would happen in a different way. Yeah. I mean, somebody that's that focused on causing destruction, he would have done it one way or the other.
Someone other than himself.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I mean,
whether he
I don't want to go into the different ways that he could have done it, but anybody can just.
If he didn't go buy guns, he could have took one of his private planes and crashed it into the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, or ran his car into it. So let's forget about, but unfortunately.
Or used what they found in his car.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, here we go again.
Yeah.
Get ready. Black gun sales are going to go up. All you guys who have been crying because that AR is now worthless, guess what? Here's your chance. Sell it. Get your money back. Or hold on to it because you ain't going to be able to find one in a short period of time. Ammo, guys,
I don't want to jump out there and start, being the cause of panic buying.
I don't either. And that's what I'm trying.
But you need to be aware that they're already. Well, I'm sure they were already drawn up.
There's already people
the legislation is already drawn up. They've just been waiting for a tragedy to use it.
Yeah. Don't let
there are a lot of politicians that are trying to push it right now. The GOP has already shelved the SHARE Act. They don't have any plans to bring it back up in the near future.
Yep.
Trump is already talking about gun legislation being on the table in the following days.
And I guarantee you, if I could see internet action from yesterday, there's already people buying ammo.
Oh yeah,
and guns and magazines.
I'm sure that Cheaper Than Dirt has already got their flyer set to go out with triple magazine prices.
I bet you if I get on there right now, they're either actually sold out or they have stuff marked sold out because they're anticipating a price hike.
Anticipating. Cheaper than dirt hikes the price anytime. Sandy Hook, the bodies hadn't even all hit the floor yet, and PMags were $89.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the first ones to jump the prices up. They did that back in, people think Sandy Hook was the first time they did that. No, they did that shit back when the first gun ban came through, back in 94, was it? 94.
Yeah.
The Clinton,
the Clinton era ban,
muzzle brakes, flash hiders, all that shit, the pistol grips, all that stuff, sky high, folding stocks. They like triple prices on them overnight before it even came into effect. It was like, they knew it was going to pass. Their prices were already gone up before anybody else. They were the first ones to do it.
I mean, if you bought 6 ARs 6 or 8 years ago, you might want to unload 2 or 3. You might want to keep 2 or 3. Because
you might want to hang on to them for a while.
Yeah, let the price really go up too. Yeah, or see if they actually do something where they're going to want to come collect them.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I would tell. I do not suggest going out and buying cases of ammo. Go out.
Well, I suggest doing that on a daily basis anyway. I mean,
but that not cases, but pick up a box or 2 every week with your paycheck. That's how you stock. That's how you build your supply. Don't drain your bank account or your credit card and go in debt.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have that ammo supply by now, chances are you don't have the skills to use an ammo supply anyways.
Yeah.
My suggestion: pull your guns out. Go over every one of them. Detail clean them. You got guns that have been sitting in the closet that are broke, need a part. Now's the time to think about spending the money on that.
Yeah,
and getting that done. Even if it's just a cheap single shot 20.
Yeah, if you've got the ability to do it, go ahead. If you don't, if you're not familiar with it, find your local gunsmith.
If you got a few guns that were your grandpa's and you're not a shooter or a hunter, but you want them for sentimental value and the chance that you might need them one day, take them to a gunsmith and have them cleaned, have them checked out, make sure they're working good. That's probably more important initially to keep the guns that are out there alive and well. Than to worry about adding new guns. Once you make sure all the guns that are out there are alive and well, then turn to the new guns and don't necessarily go for the nasty black guns. Jeez. Because if they do ever pass a law or come hunting for them, that's what they're coming for first. They're not going to come for your Mossberg 500
for
with
them
the
to
wood
come
stock.
Hunting for them, they have to. There's a lot of shit that has to happen for them to come hunting for them.
They know the name, social security, name and address of everyone who's done a background check. Don't give me no bullshit. They ain't at least keeping the names of everybody that's had a background check done.
Background check.
They'll knock on all those doors. Before that, they're going to knock on every door to everyone who's ever had a hunting license.
They're not supposed to know what you have, though, just that you had a background check.
And that's going to be their probable cause to search.
That's not probable cause to search.
Okay, you have a hunting license.
That's not probable cause.
Yeah, it is. You own guns. We're checking to make sure you don't own illegal guns.
What illegal guns?
When they make some gun illegal. New York City's already done it. California's done it.
But they can do that because of state rights.
No, see, that's the problem. There is no such thing with state rights when it comes to...
Supreme Court said there was.
That's because the Supreme Court's a bunch of dumbasses. When the states joined the Union, they all agreed to abide by the Constitution first and foremost. Anything not enumerated in the Constitution to the federal government or the people
therein lies the problem is thinking that the Constitution gives you those rights. Constitution is supposed to guarantee those rights. You already have them.
Yeah.
They were written down to guarantee them.
To guarantee them to the people.
Those are also limitations of the government.
Against the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes in, is when they start interpreting those as,
when state and local governments.
These are things that the government says you can do.
Yeah, instead of
these are things the government can't say.
These are things you had before the government.
Yeah.
And the government
just the government can't
reassures from you, saying that you will continue to have them. But now some liberal penny waste judges.
But then they add into that states have rights to put further restrictions on things.
No. Not if it's guaranteed to the people.
But that's the problem, is that they're applying it to this.
Because the way the Constitution is written.
It's not supposed to be applied to this.
Yeah, well, the way the Constitution is written is anything not specifically set aside for federal government control or set aside for the people, the state and local governments can control. You have federal election laws, which say the feds control that. You have the Constitution, which says these things are particularly set aside for the people after that. But the judges know. They got to reinterpret to modern standards. Well, sorry, the Constitution doesn't say maybe reinterpreted or maybe changed. Yeah, you can change it. There's only one way. That's 2/3 of the populace 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then they get around that by passing criminal and civil laws. And then they further get around those criminal and civil laws by passing orders or rulings or clarification letters.
Yeah.
Well,
that's where the water gets muddied even further, because then you have laws that circumvent laws, or laws that make this law only apply to this when this happens, or this law that strengthens this other law if this is the case, or you have laws on top of laws that at some point it just all stops making sense.
Yeah. And we're talking about some of the ABCs, which aren't legal entities in the government as it is by the Constitution, some of them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's going to be a shit storm.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the big guns. I haven't. I'm not saying they haven't opened their mouth yet or let something out, but Bloomberg, Schumer, Feinstein.
I think Schumer's already started.
Oh, trust me, he's probably already got 100.
I know that Gabby Giffords and her husband have. There's been press conferences with them all over the place today, which may just be bits and pieces of the same one. But they got on there talking about gun control and the moms demand attention, and the every town, and which they're funded by Bloomberg. That's all Bloomberg money.
And his good buddy Soros.
Yeah.
And let's forget the jackass in the room, or let's not forget the jackass in the room. Chicago. By the numbers to date, from January 1st to date, has had enough homicides to duplicate what happened Sunday night 8.9 times. And the year's not even over. They've already had over 2,800 shootings.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you earlier about that number that they came up with as to how many mass shootings there had been this year.
Yeah.
Or no, it wasn't this year. It was since Trump took office, and it was some ridiculous number of mass shootings. That's because they count every weekend in Chicago, all of those, like the drive-bys and stuff. Even if nobody got killed,
and a little girl skins her knee 5 houses away from the targeted house.
But all it takes is 4+ people to be injured.
Yeah,
that's considered a mass shooting. So all of those incidents go into that big, huge number that they talk about, and that was one of their talking points. As to what makes this so bad is because this is not only is it the worst
in a 12-month period
recent
in history.
No, that still wounded me. But what did they call it? In modern history or something.
Yeah. But and I saw one where you want to know where modern history stops? Because they forget the school shooting in 1934 in Virginia or West Virginia. It's not in there.
Yeah.
It stops in 1967 in Texas.
Yeah.
So we've only had modern history for 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that.
Yeah.
Where the timeline of modern.
That's weird because when I took modern history, it was like Industrial Revolution forward.
Yeah, or just prior to or just after the Industrial Revolution.
I think Industrial Revolution,
when
the course I took, it was pretty much Industrial Revolution was the beginning.
Yeah, I think mine was just kind of prior to when they were coming up with things like the steam engine before they had.
Well, that was around the time that was like the lead into it was the steam engine, and then they went from there. But you kind of fast forwarded through that part because they wanted to get the technology there and then start you from there.
Yeah, but now apparently modern history starts in 1967.
Yeah. Well, classic rock is from the 90s now, so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, mine's now moldy oldies. Yeah. And that's only the 80s. I don't know what that 1950 and 60 shit I listened to. God help, I don't what the hell they call the shit from the 20s.
Yeah, when we were listening to classic rock in high school, it was 50s and 60s mostly, some 70s,
Yeah.
But some of that stuff, you didn't even consider that old really, because that was like the stuff you listened to when you were a kid.
I still don't consider the 70s or 60s old because I can walk into almost any friggin' bar with a jukebox.
Yeah.
And still find those suckers there.
Yeah. Yeah, if they got an actual jukebox.
Yeah, and they get played.
Yeah.
Even if they got a virtual jukebox where it's Wi-Fi and off a series or off of something.
Well, usually they're going to have everything.
Well, they do.
They have. Yeah. They're usually.
But if you look at the playlists.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to find a mid-60s to mid-70s multiple ones on there. I mean, it's so bad the 70s and 80s music that they've had to remake them twice now.
Yeah,
some of them. They're even remaking our movies.
Yeah,
because
badly.
That's the other problem.
They haven't done a good job with many of them.
Well, they haven't done a good job with the remakes of the music either. But
some of it they have, but not very. And it's not the same.
No,
it's a completely different animal when they do it well.
Yeah,
it's like that's a good remake.
There are some good. There are some times when they do remake it, it actually makes it better. Good example: Crimson and Clover. The original was done by guys in the 50s.
Most people don't even know about that one.
When Joan Jett redid it, I think both songs are good.
Yeah,
but I think Joan Jett's version raised it up a bar or two. You know, so yeah, not all remakes are bad, but it's pretty bad when you got a society that's not imaginable enough to come up with new music or new movies that they got to remake and doing old ones.
Well, the bad thing is a lot of times when they remake these movies, they should have just made a completely different movie. Because
to modern time,
like, well,
is one way.
Take for example, one example I can think of is the remake of Red Dawn.
I haven't seen that one.
It would be a decent movie if it was not Red Dawn. But trying to call that Red Dawn, it's not even in the same general area of Red Dawn. It's a completely different movie.
And there's some stories that have been remade, and every one of them's good because, for instance, when computers take over, there's been all kinds of different movies based on that theory.
Yeah.
But they're not the same.
Well, see, they're not all Terminator. That's another thing there because they're using that idea, loosely basing something on it, and you can make 1,000 movies that way. The book that Blade Runner was based on. What's it called? Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I think is the name of the book.
I don't know.
It's Asimov, I believe. It's not very much like Blade Runner.
But you can see where
But you can see the similarities in it if you look hard enough. But it's a completely different concept, really.
And look at what
it was based on it very loosely. Well, they took the idea and then they made this thing from that idea.
Look what they did with Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
To all to Count Dracula to all these vampire movies now.
Oh yeah, and there's tons of them that take that from.
Let's face it, zombies were around before Night of the Living Dead, but that brought.
Well, that was a different zombie because you got the old zombie like White Zombie and that's the only one.
Or you can go to where they didn't even call it a zombie movie. It took place in Mississippi, Louisiana, one of the islands.
But those were traditional zombies. Those were Bokor zombies. The ones where the voodoo priest raises the zombie and or
then you got
Serpent in the Rainbow zombies.
Then you got viruses that cause
then you got
chemicals.
Romero zombies, which is like Night of the Living Dead or Walking Dead. Can be considered a Romero zombie. Then you got rage virus zombies, like 28 Days Later. I would consider the Resident Evil zombies similar to the 28 Days Later zombies because they're like a rage virus type zombie. They fast moving.
What was that movie where Will Smith was alone in New York City with his dog?
Oh yeah. That's a good example of remade movies that are a lot different.
Yeah.
There was the original book was the name of the movie that Will Smith was in.
Yeah, I know.
I can't think of it for shit right now. But there was a movie that Vincent Price was in. He was the first one. After the book, Last Man on Earth was that was his movie. Then there was the one that Charlton Heston was in, Omega Man.
Okay, yeah,
same story, changed a little bit, and then there was the one with Will Smith. Still can't think of the name.
Yeah, I know. I can't either. And it's a damn good movie.
My favorite is the one with Charlton Heston in it, the Omega Man.
Well, it had Charlton Heston in it. I mean, come on.
It's a classic.
Yeah, anything Charlton Heston did.
But the book was...
No, Vincent Price is a classic. Charlton Heston was just...
Well, the Vincent Price movie wasn't as good though. It was one of his.
Never that great.
Oh, I love some.
I love it, but I mean,
especially the The Edgar Allan Poe stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that was taken from Edgar Allan Poe.
He was a great pigeonholed actor.
Yeah.
And he did it well. Some of the movies he were in were B movies, but
and when he was still around, all you pretty much had to do to get me to buy in was have him narrate it.
Yeah, that too. That's like Alfred Hitchcock narrating something.
Yeah. Or what's his name?
James Earl Jones.
Well, him and
Charlton Heston. Geez, I'd recognize the voice.
The guy that he played God in that one movie.
Okay, there was a lot of movies where a lot of people played God.
No,
not too many of them survived long after, but
no.
Damn it, George Burns.
I can't think. I guess I must just be tired because
you're over 35. Did you?
But Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he starts. If he's narrating some shit.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. There are some people that just have the right voice and tone.
That movie. Can't remember the damn name. What? The Bucket List. Is that it? With him and
that. There was another one. The Book of.
Book of Eli.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good like apocalypse.
Yeah.
Apocalypse movie.
Yeah.
That was.
Didn't he narrate some of that? Or because that was narrated a lot.
I don't know who did the narration of that because I don't think it was what's his name that played in it.
No, I don't either.
Could have been, I guess, but I don't think so because his voice isn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. But anybody saying anything or
no?
No, they're all busy. I'm just going to say, hang around, read, and get ready to laugh at some of the laws that are going to be proposed and some of the things idiots are going to say before they think about what they're saying. And hang on, it could be a hell of a roller coaster ride, or if we're lucky, people will focus on the main part, the tragedy, the people who are wounded, the people who were there and walked away without a scratch, and the people who lost family. Yeah, I'm done. I just kind of shut down after yesterday morning.
Yeah, that it was like kind of. I was trying to figure out, get facts, and there's not very many out there.
And there won't be. And we were discussing it.
Yeah, and there's not really. I don't want to.
We're never gonna know exactly.
Yeah, and I don't want to really speculate a lot of shit either because there's already enough misinformation out there. There's already enough stuff with the like yesterday morning when it was that they were reporting to begin with that they found him after he had shot himself, and then later in the day they started saying that the cops killed him,
or that they were reporting there were illegally converted ARs.
Yeah, and then they were like bump fire stocks, and so
and acting like 500 rounds is a lot of ammo.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 500 rounds disappear pretty quick if you really shoot.
That's a weekend range.
I mean, a weekend. That could be an
afternoon.
I mean, geez, I remember as a kid, 500 rounds of 22 did not last me that long.
That's not even a rifle class. 500 rounds
of 20 kids. With 20.
No, I mean, 10? That's not even.
Yeah.
If you took a 3-day class,
that's barely a 2-day
that's not even
course.
Yeah, that's not even.
Yeah, I'm just thinking when I taught Hunter Ed, just say 30 students, at a 10-round mag each.
Yeah.
On the range, and that's all they got.
Yeah.
That's 300 rounds. And that went by in literally 4 hours. You know, I mean, it took nothing. And you can make a conspiracy out of anything if you want to every possible angle and turn it upside down and speculate on this and that.
I mean, if I wanted to go full tinfoil, there's all kinds of crap that you could speculate on, you know, like his reasoning for doing it.
The hell with his reasoning? I'm just going to go right out there.
Well, he owed a bunch of money to somebody because he was in heavy gambling debt.
Yeah.
So that pretty much puts him under somebody's thumb.
So he was bought, and ISIS bought his marker.
I ain't even going ISIS.
I'm not even going to go gambling debt. I'm just going to say it's an intergalactic conspiracy.
Well, that's one of the few facts that they do know is that he
spent a lot of money.
He had a lot of money.
Did you see his wife?
He had a lot of gambling debt.
Did you see the wife?
Was that even his wife or was that his girlfriend?
Either way, yeah.
Don't even know that for sure yet.
I guarantee you, she spent a lot of that money.
But he was retired or semi-retired.
Retired.
And he owned a couple of planes. He had a pilot's license. Other than that, there's not a lot of knowns. There's a bunch of speculation.
Intergalactic conspiracy. The Klingons are coming to take over, and they got to eliminate firearms in the general populace hands before they can take over.
Yeah.
You know, how far out do you want to reach?
Okay.
You know, I could make that argument. I could start with him and work it backwards and make that argument and probably toss in a few presidents, a few senators, some hotshot lawyers, and some piddly ass factory workers that are involved in it back in the 20s. You know,
Well, the thing is that,
and with the modern,
we're probably never going to know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, he was a sociopath. He had to be able to do that. He had to be a sociopath.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. People can make the argument, oh, he's just a scumbag. No, if you're a scumbag that is willing to take out a bunch of random ass people, you're a sociopath.
And just because you have the means and motive doesn't mean you're going to do it. I have the means.
I mean, I know a lot of scumbag people that are not worth scraping off the carpet. And I don't think that most of them probably wouldn't do something like that.
No.
Most of them probably wouldn't even hurt somebody else. They're just a piece of crap.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably too lazy to hurt somebody else. But they're still scumbags.
Or their brain doesn't function at high enough levels to be able to put enough pieces together to hurt someone else or to plan something.
Which might be the only thing keeping them from doing it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, if you have the capacity to think that it's okay to do that, or even to not think it's okay, but think that I'm going to do it anyway, that pretty much...
Oh, I can think
you're
about,
fractured.
I can think. I can seriously think about. Yeah, I could just shoot people for the hell of it. Not a problem. Wouldn't bother me a bit. But I kind of like this little teeny thing that's disappearing. Freedom.
Yeah.
I like to be able to control what I eat, when I eat, where I go, when I go. You know, all that good shit. So I mean.
Well, I mean, that's a factor in it, but I mean, there's also
that's a huge factor in it for me.
I don't have the gumption, I don't have the whatever it is that says, hey.
Yeah. You know, I got a family to think of too. You know,
I mean, there are a lot of reasons.
I mean, my personal freedom, that's probably low on the list. You know, there's my wife, my kids.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that there's consequences for doing shit like that, that's one of the, I mean, there's a lot of reasons in front of that prevent me from doing shit like that. I like to think that all those reasons in front of that happen. I call those my morals, even though I'm not a very religious person. Those are still my morals.
That's my buffer. That's my buffer.
And the law is way down here on that list.
Yeah, that's the final
You have to go through all this other crap before I get to the point that if I do that, I'm going to go to prison or worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
a buffer.
What's worse than the prison?
Gas chamber, electric chair.
Okay, they do it to you. Okay, I'm thinking if I'm going down fighting, they're gonna kill me on the spot. But I ain't gonna go through that.
But still, I mean when you put it in that level, I mean, you got to go through a bunch of other things.
There's a lot of things you got to check
before you get to the fact that there's a law that says you can't do that,
or something.
That's the thing that sits here. Yeah. But there's a bunch of stuff above that.
Or to get through all that stuff, you can get through all that stuff like that. It's called It Finally Comes Unhinged. It snaps.
If it ever snaps, I'll let you know. But I mean, at this point, there's all this stuff being here.
Yeah, but there can be a point in someone's life that instantly everything. I mean, the circuit's just fried. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah,
and whether it takes you a few hours or a few weeks.
That's another great movie that they haven't fucked up by trying to remake yet.
Which one?
Falling Down.
Don't think. I'm not quite as big as a movie buff as you and Daryl.
Come on. That's one of the best movies.
I'm not saying I might not have seen it or part of it. It just, not to mention
what year that came out.
My brain has an automatic disconnect. It does not necessarily remember titles or names. It remembers more the events.
Yeah. That's a newer movie than I thought it was. 1993.
Okay, now see, there's the problem.
But it's a very popular movie.
93, I was
very well known.
93, I was on top of a friggin' mountain in the woods, living off the land, raising a family, and we had friggin' 2 channels on a good day.
Yeah.
So I didn't know much about what movies were coming out.
It used to come on all the time on like pretty much every channel that showed movies. Like it used to come on USA all the time back when they used to show movies.
Okay, again, this boy never had cable till he got down here.
Michael Douglas. He loses his job, divorce. He just breaks one day. So his car broke down, I think, is what sent him over the edge. Car breaks down, gets out of his car, leaves his car there, goes into the city. I think I don't remember what he was doing. Anyway, I think he was going to his daughter's birthday party or something. Anyway, makes his way across the city, picks up, goes and gets a gun.
Which isn't hard to do in a city.
Goes, gets up in a tower and starts shooting people.
And like I said, whether it be a few hours or a few weeks between that break and your action, that's something that you just ain't going to prevent. You can't predict it. You can't guard against it.
Yeah.
And once it starts happening, all you can do is pray you can end it quickly. Yeah. So there are. Does that happen to a lot of people? Probably more than we think. But do they all react?
Yeah, they don't. A lot of times,
I mean, you go check out some of these homeless people.
Well, a lot of times they just end up doing something stupid
and end up in jail, or
either them going to jail, getting a divorce,
or
or
end up homeless.
Yeah. because they do something stupid, or they have a mental break
and they want to
their
be
job
homeless.
and end up losing everything.
Or they literally have that mental break and walk out in the middle of their fucking office day and just wander from there forever.
Yeah.
You know, and others may react violently. Others may react, oh, I'm just going to rob this
Well, that's
bank.
the thing, is that they have to, in order for us to know about it, they have to do something outrageous.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones
And
that
even when they do, even when they do the outrageous
if
thing,
those guys hadn't done something outrageous, they might have gotten help. They might have gotten.
But see, even before they hit that outrageous spot, someone has to notice that break.
Yeah.
Because that person who just walks out of their $200,000 a year CEO job, if there's not people to miss them,
yeah,
or they can't find them. First of all, what is it? 24, 48 hours before the police even start? If there's no foul play.
I think it's 48 hours.
If there's no foul play, yeah. You know, so even if someone does miss them immediately, they still got a pretty good jump on whatever they might want to do. But there has to be someone there, one, to notice, and two, care enough to, or to care enough to notice, and then they got to be there to notice.
Yeah.
Because the other problem in today's world, you don't move across town. You move across the country, or halfway across the country.
Yeah.
So you may not see your kids or your parents or your cousins or your, and you lose a whole, you could have been here for 20 years. You get a new job, you move halfway across country, you know, you starting over again. No one knows you.
Yeah.
Now I guess this guy's been living in the Vegas area for a while, so that's not the case.
Yeah. I don't know if he's, I
don't
know if he lived around there or if he
down to what I saw, he lived and worked in Florida, retired and moved to Vegas.
Okay.
One of the reasons he moved to
I
Vegas
didn't know if he had moved
was
there
because he liked gambling.
If he liked to gamble and made trips there. I didn't know if it was because I didn't really see anything that specified.
Yeah.
So.
And his family had no clue, and it didn't, the little bits and pieces I saw and remember, it didn't seem like he was estranged from his family or anything.
Yeah.
Or hadn't been in touch with them in a long while. So who knows? Like I said, we can speculate.
Yeah.
And with today,
we're probably never going to know unless he left some kind of detailed letter somewhere.
Yeah. First of all,
I would look at with a cocked eyebrow.
Yeah. With the ABCs, and everything being compartmentalized, secret courts and all this shit, you have no idea what they may suppress.
Yeah.
Whether it be for national security or whatever, and that could be economic reasons, it could be military reasons, all kinds of different things. Then local police and what they may suppress or what might not even come out because it's buried in evidence and it's not going to be brought up in trial because it's not needed to prosecute or, well, first of all, there is no trial.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then with all the media speculation, all the former law enforcement or consultants speculating and with police officers leaking stuff and then also embellishing. I guarantee you, man, there's going to be some reporter and some guys, and it's going to be in national headlines, some cop who wasn't even on duty and was in the other side of town and asleep when it happened was going to be there and he's going to tell his story.
Yeah.
You know, the media doesn't vet sources. The law enforcement leaks stuff. DAs and politicians leak stuff, and half the stuff they leak is speculative.
Here's the way the media
only
works.
Based on part of the evidence.
Here's how the media works these days. It's not ever been a whole lot different than this, but pretty much what they do is once a story breaks, they start throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yep.
The story,
and God help them if they ever retract a mistake
and people start running with. Doesn't matter if it's they'll print a retraction.
Yeah,
nobody gives a crap. It's on the bottom of the or just a little blurb that they
it's underneath the auto ads in the last section.
Well, it's just before the weather guy comes on. They're like, oh, yesterday we told you that this happened at the thing that happened.
Right after the sports.
But that wasn't it. It was found out that it was this. And now the roker with the weather.
We finished with the SEC sports scores. Oh, by the way, we made a mistake here. Sorry about that. Now to you, Al.
Yeah.
What's the weather going to be like tomorrow?
Yeah.
What did he say? Mistake? No, he couldn't say mistake.
Yeah. Nobody cares about that.
First of all, as soon as they put the last SEC score up, the person flipped the channel or walked out of the room.
Yeah. As soon as they say it, it's fact from then on.
Yeah.
All they have to do is drop those little things. Gun show loophole. All those things. There are people who still believe that. I have seen that so many times in the last 2 days. All you got to do is go to a gun show. FFLs are required to do a background check at a gun show.
Yep.
I mean,
depending on how the gun show's set up, they may make people with private tables go through
even
FFLs.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Before
it became a thing.
Before there was a NICS, back when we were just doing 4473s, and we didn't even do an actual any kind of check on a long gun.
Yeah.
We had to do a background check through the sheriff's department
for a handgun. That was
the way we did it here. Yeah. Some states had to go through state police, some had other
city police.
Yeah, this was all before NICS. NICS was still an idea at this point. Yeah. So here, what we did was we went through the sheriff's department. So we would fax all the crap to them, and they had, I think it was 7 days to get back to us. And so we'll begin with 3 days, because it was a 3-day wait to start with, and then it went to a 7-day.
It took them a while to plow through some of the files that hadn't been put on the computer yet. Yeah.
You had a waiting period on it. So at a gun show, they had to fill out the form. If it was a long gun, they took it with them. Mm-hmm. If it was a pistol, they could come pick it up at the shop, or we could arrange to have it transferred
to another
FFL or whatever. And a lot of the times at gun show, you'd be dealing with people where they would have to do that.
Yeah.
Usually there was there was a gunshot from their hometown that was over there.
Yeah.
So you just go and talk to that guy and set it up with
him. Trade your paperwork, give him the gun, and he waits.
Well, usually you'd already done that, because day one while we were setting up, we traded paperwork with everybody.
And then even that new FFL in the next county or city may have had to say, well, you know what? It doesn't matter about their check. I still have to do my check that's required by local law.
Yeah. Well, usually we would coordinate all that together, so that
they started immediately and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had to wait.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Yeah, they had to wait on them back
then. And they've proven that cooling off waiting periods don't deter the person.
Yeah.
Well,
the whole thing was that one of the reasons that was put in there
convicted
was it was also because they had the time to do that check. Because at that time, this was state and local law enforcement that were doing the checks.
Yeah, not everything
was outside of their normal operating to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So it took more time. They couldn't always do them really fast.
Yeah, they didn't have people dedicated to it, and not all the files had been transferred to computer yet.
Yeah.
You might have to go check the microfiche.
I'll tell you,
or even worse, go down in the basement, pull a box.
Most of the ones that we had that came back, which was not that often, but the ones that we had that came back were pretty quick. We had a couple of them that were questionable that we called up there later to make sure, and we had a good call on them because they were not eligible.
Yeah.
But most of the time it was like 15, 20 minutes, and it was like, no.
Yeah.
They were calling up. They were like, yeah, you just sent this down here.
Yeah, we just let him out of the friggin' jail yesterday.
You got an address on this guy?
Yeah, we want to go pick him
because this one he put on here ain't real.
Yeah. Not to mention we got warrants on his ass. But
yeah, that's usually what they were wanting is we got warrants on that.
And that's because you're in a small rural county where even the patrolmen are familiar with certain names.
Yeah.
You know, without even if it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I'm ready to end the night.
Yeah, me too.
I mean there's nothing more we can say except for there's going to be a lot of shit slung.
Yeah.
And we'll probably never know 100% what led up to and actually what transpired in that room.
Yeah.
So
the takeaways from this is pretty much it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
And from looking at this from just a little bit that we know, which isn't much,
it doesn't seem like it was foreseeable.
He would have done this no matter what his tool was.
Yeah. He
was probably going to do this anyway.
And if he'd done it without a gun, you wouldn't hear half of what you're hearing about.
No. It would have come and gone.
Yep.
There would have been nothing. Like I said, all the legislation that they're about to throw at us and see what sticks.
Yep.
It's been sitting on desks waiting for the next tragedy for them to try and bring it up.
Oh, there's plenty of gun control groups and individuals like Bloomberg who have gun control.
Well, the problem right now is that everybody is off their guard.
Yeah.
Because everybody went and laid down after Trump got in because they thought Senate, House.
Well, even the Democrats let their guard down as far as having shit ready. I'm sure they're sitting there with a bunch of different stuff saying, okay, we need to pull this piece out of this one, this piece out, and put together this one to send up.
Oh, no, I think they're going to send every one of them that they've got drawn up.
Yeah.
And just see which one because they don't care.
They're going to throw all kinds of shit and see what can
They don't
stick.
actually have any legitimate reason to do any of it because none of this, no piece of legislation is going to stop anything.
No laws ever stopped someone from violating that.
No.
And never
because if they go through, well, like I said, that I got all these layers that are above the law that says I'm not supposed to do it.
Some people are raised with
all
no layers.
Those layers, if you don't have those layers, that law is not going to stop you.
And some people are just raised with
those layers are what's stopping you.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, pretty much. The law, the final line, may stop some.
Yeah.
From that, some may stop there and not cross.
Yeah.
But others are going to look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, especially if they don't plan on.
And let's face it,
if they don't plan on continuing after their act.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially then. Yeah. Nothing's going to stop. Well, let's just compare gun control to drug control.
Yeah, it works out great, doesn't it?
We've been fighting the drug war for how long?
I don't know. The first time that I heard that term was in the 80s sometime.
Yeah. And it started back in the 70s.
Actually, before that.
It started back in the 20s.
Reefer Madness.
Yeah, 50s.
50s. That's actually when it first started.
That's when it became more mainstream.
When that was pretty much the big push because that's when they started all the anti-pot propaganda and all that stuff was in the late 50s, I think.
Yeah. And
wasn't that when the Reefer Madness and all that propaganda, wasn't that when that first came about?
Yeah, that's when it got its first big push.
Yeah.
But we can go back, look at Prohibition.
Well,
and let's face it, if you can't stop a pound of powder or chopped up
all you do is you create a whole other industry of illegal activity.
No, you create a bigger market for the black market that already exists.
Yeah.
I mean, there's already a black market for guns, and now all you're going to do is instead of Bass Pro or let's see, which gun manufacturer do I not like? Remington.
Yeah.
Making all the money. Now
I was going to go with Springfield Armory, but okay.
They're just overpriced, overhyped. Remington's just a sellout. They finally got the fuck out of New York.
Remember they sold out and sold Illinois out.
Well, in that case, we better go back to Smith and Ruger. But you know, basically, instead of the legal corporations and legal businesses like Andalusia Armory making money and generating tax dollar, you're going to have the illegals like MS-13 becoming more powerful and having more money and wreaking more havoc.
Well, you already got people selling things illegally on the dark web.
Yeah.
You know, there's a whole gun selling community on the dark web. I mean,
let's face it, me or you could go to Montgomery or Birmingham.
If you want to pay 6 times as much, I mean, you can pick up a Glock 19 on the dark web for, you know, about $850. Yeah. Because that's what you pay for
anonymity.
Yeah.
Total anonymity.
You can probably find them cheaper than that on there if they stole enough of them but the fact that there had to be straw purchases and shit in order to get some of this stuff.
Yeah, everybody's making their dime.
Because they had to pay full price for it. Yeah. And then,
they're going to upcharge.
They're passing on the savings to you.
Yeah. And let's face it, near you, we could go into Montgomery, Birmingham, Mobile, Pensacola, Panama City, and within a day come out with a gun that we did not get at a gun shop. We did not get online. We did not get at a gun show.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Yeah. One, we could be sitting in some neighborhood bar and someone comes in, hey, I got a gun I want to sell. It could be that easy.
Yeah.
Or we could go down to that drug corner and find that person really jonesing for some crack or some meth.
Well, that's the thing about the street guns.
For a few bucks,
is that they may sell that gun. The guy jonesing, he may sell that gun for next to nothing because he needs a quick fix. And so he's got this gun he lifted off of, somebody.
And he's going to sell it for next to nothing or trade it for his fix.
Yeah. But then you got another guy that's selling guns out of a trunk. You may pay an arm and a leg for those.
Yeah. Or you may pay
because those were probably procured somewhat on the up and up originally.
Possibly.
So they're closer to being,
or
they have to make some profit off of them.
Or they at least cool down decently.
Yeah. So they're having to make some profit off of them. But that's the thing is that you doing that kind of business, the prices are all over the place.
The guy out of the trunk, he may have that deal of the day. It was stolen 2 days ago and it's got 4 bodies on it now.
Yeah. That's another thing that tends to drive the price of a gun, I would think, would be how many bodies are tied to it.
And whether or not the person who's selling it knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want this fucker. A scrub serial number goes cheap too. Because that's an automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will pay twice as much for a gun with a serial number. Even though if it comes back stolen. A scrub serial number, I don't want to get caught with that fucker. I don't want to get caught next to that son of a bitch.
No.
But see, then again, there's our moral cushion coming into play.
Well, I didn't like that when there was a guy brought us one time that had a scrub serial number on it. And when the cop came back and brought the paperwork in and everything with the guy, then we did the work that he wanted done after that, because he had gotten it back from after it had been stolen and so and it had been recovered, and they had turned the gun back over to him. And so what he was wanting is the
serial number back on.
Yeah. Well, we had to put another number.
You can't use the same serial number.
Yeah, we couldn't use that. But yeah, they brought paperwork and stuff in where it had been released back to him and everything. And so then, which all we needed was paperwork.
Yeah.
He was the one who decided to bring the cop with him.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, because even with
he was like, So they brought everything back in, and everything was cool. And so
I've never run into that yet.
Yeah.
I have run into where they walk in and I know that gun is fucking short.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm not going to fix it. No, I don't want to buy it. Leave now, please.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know your name. Don't even say hi. Because if you say hi and take one more step, then I'm going to have to friggin' do something.
Got to make some phone calls, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Now
they're going to come down here.
I have made phone calls.
They're going to start combing through my files.
No, they don't. No, they don't. I have made phone calls.
Well, we've had them come down and comb through files before.
Really, they were being an asshole.
They used to do that all the damn time. A lot more than they do now. ATF.
Really?
Where how they come and they give you guys a call and you look up some shit and tell them, and they're cool and they're going. But no, they used to come down to look for stuff.
I've had them come
and all they wanted was some files. I mean, all they did was look through the bound book and find what they needed, and that was it.
I've had them come to my shop and ask me for about a specific name
thing or whatever,
and I'd look through my files. No, I don't have that name. And they'd be fine and leave. They never actually looked through them.
Yeah. I think they only actually looked through them one time. Now they came in and had us look for stuff, and then we had to photocopy that part of the thing, that entry,
and that 4473 and any other information attached to that gun that you're supposed to keep. Like the FFL of the place you got it from. Or
most of the time though, it was stuff that we didn't even have anyway. It was like something that was UPS lost it or some crap. But it was supposed to have been delivered, but it was like, we never got it.
Actually, we've
had a couple of those.
We've had a couple that were supposed to be delivered and they didn't come. But I've had to make calls, and it's the guy decided.
Well, there used to be this company called RPS. And they only delivered a couple of days a week, because they would only deliver if they had another delivery out that way or something. And they had a habit of losing packages, apparently. And sometimes those were gun shipments or ammo shipments, and which, if it was coming to the shop, it was probably guns or ammo.
That's where the distributors have to go, okay, we're not using this place anymore. Or if it's guns and they're making it seems to happen a lot more with this company than any other company. That's when the ATF has to say, guess what? These guys can't transport. Not saying that I want the ATF to get involved, but if you got a company that has a habit of it, it's time for the.
There were a couple of companies that liked to use them, and they didn't have a way that you could specify. Most companies had a way you could specify if you wanted a particular shipper to ship your stuff.
They don't.
You could specify that.
They don't do that anymore. I probably could between UPS and FedEx.
Well, that was usually the option. Those UPS, FedEx. But you also had back then. You had RPS, Airborne, and there was another one.
And depending on how
RPS and Airborne became the same company at one point. I don't know if that other one
and I know
got bought up by them or not.
Depending on how big the shipment was, or if they had a bigger shipment going, sometimes a tractor trailer would come and drop two or three boxes off.
Yeah.
You know, and it might have been yellow freight or something like that. It was, but that's because they were probably coming by my area anyways with the bigger shipment.
Yeah.
So, well, this is Tracy.
And this is Sean.
This was Shop Talk. We'll be better next time.